Hello, my name is Lori Minkler and I'm a student at Liberty University. Today I would like to share with you my interpersonal communication project. Sounds complicated, right? Well, actually the project is the final assignment in the class Studies in Interpersonal Communication. The course was 8 weeks long, and during the first 7 weeks of the class, each student was required to read 3 texts and also take a personality test. We were then asked to assess our communication skills, pros and cons, and find things that we need to improve to make us the best communicator possible, thus the interpersonal communication project. As we look at my first slide, I want to go over my objectives for this project. First, I will have my life goal, behavioral blend and background, communication barriers, resources and strategies, action plan, and conclusion. As you look at the next slide, my life goal is to build bridges. One of the books that we read was by Stewart during this time frame, called Bridges Not Walls, a book about interpersonal communication. Stewart's book taught people how to build, to take down walls and build bridges so that you'll have better communication styles and actually to make the world a better place. He also has a quote that we have on the slide from his book that says there's a direct link between the quality of your communication and the quality of your life. In other words, the better you learn to communicate, the better the quality of your life will be. As you can see the next slide, early in the course we all took a personality course to find out what our behavioral blend is. As you can see, Carbonell in the course How to Solve the People Puzzle, Understanding Personality Patterns ebook showed us what our personality blend was. Mine is a steady influencer. That means that my traits are I'm sensitive, tolerant, forgiving, inspirational, encouraging, warm, and submissive. As I looked at my personality trait of steady influencer, it became evident that I had become the person I am due to my background. As I read the book by Peterson, Why Don't We Listen Better? Communicating and Connecting in Relationships, I realized that he had a lot in common with me. In fact, I quite enjoyed his book. Like Peterson, I was one of many children in a big family. I was the middle child of a large family. I had an authoritarian mother, an absent father, and frequent changes of school. This made for a very shy child. However, like Peterson, I learned to gravitate toward that person that no one else really wanted to pay attention to, whether it was a grown-up or another student, and that's where I got my friends from, and that's also how I learned to talk to people that sometimes other people do not want to talk to. At first glance, on the next slide as we move on to communication barriers, it looks like my personality is just glowing. After all, I'm sensitive, I'm tolerant, I'm mentoring. However, there were some things that I was warned about by Carbonell regarding my personality traits. As you can see on the first one on the PowerPoint slide, it says that I need to avoid bitterness and resentment. I have a tendency to take my feelings home. I need to refrain from solving other people's problems. Peterson talked about that in his book as well. Then I need to step out of my comfort zone. I need to be open to new experiences. Isaac and Uzib talked about this in their article, Personality Traits and Positive Negative Affects, an analysis of meaning in life among adults. What they basically were saying is when you step out of your comfort zone and learn to be open to new experiences, you're going to have more meaning in your life. As we look at the resources and strategies that I can use in order to overcome some of the problems in my personality and my communication, we're going to look at how do I avoid bitterness and resentfulness. Well, one of the things that Stewart talks about is mindfulness. I need to listen in the present. I don't need to always go back. Someone comes up to me that maybe they've wronged me before. No, I need to go in the present and move forward. I also need to become aware of my internal thought processes. Burley Allen talks about this in her book, Listening, the Forgotten Skill, a self-teaching guide of how we look inward to see why we think the way we do. Also, I need to avoid labeling myself. Longu, in her article, The Consequences of Labeling on Personality Development, talks about labeling yourself negatively. I never need to look at myself in a negative light and say, you're too stupid to do that. When we label, we become what we label ourselves or what others label us. Also, I need to refrain from solving other people's problems. I realize the damage this does to me when I jump in because I take stress on of other people when I try to solve their problems. but I'm also not doing a service to my fellow person when I try to solve their problems and don't give them a chance. Burley Allen also talked about this as being, I'm okay, you're not okay attitude. If I'm talking to someone and I'm okay and they're okay, I'm putting them on the same plane as myself. But if I'm trying to solve their problems, I'm saying, I'm okay, I can handle your problem, but you can't. I never want to do that to someone. Also, Peterson has a wonderful technique called hem and haw. What he does is he said, anytime you want to try to solve someone else's problem, you need to do anything you can to keep your mouth shut, whether you have to chew on a pencil, bite your tongue, etc. I also need to step out of my comfort zone. I need to be open to new experiences that Isaac and Uzziv had talked about in their article, which will give me greater meaning in life. So my action plan goal is to break down the walls of your past and pave the way for your future. As I want to make my goal a reality, I have to put those things behind me in my past, especially negative things, and I need to ask God, number one, for his help. Proverbs 3:6 says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. What a wonderful thing to be a Christian and not have to worry about how I'm going to go forward, because I always have someone that goes forward with me, my God. Also, I need to make a concentrated effort to communicate. I need to be open to other people's views and be willing to exhale. Stuart talks in his book about exhaling. All that means is I need to give some of what's inside of me back to others. Sometimes I'm such a private, closed person that I will listen to others, but I don't let them know that I'm a real person with real problems just like they have. So that's another solution and a way that I can make my goal a reality. Also, I do need to live in the present. I have to forget those labels of the past, or my aunt would call me clumsy, or anyone calling you stupid. Forget those things. Go forward. I need to practice mindfulness. Stuart talked about this again in his book, how we can concentrate on things at hand. And also, concentrate on conversations as they're going on. Don't be thinking of other things. Be very mindful. And also, one of the things in this course I learned to do was keep a journal. Keeping a journal really helped me to know what my thoughts are and how I can improve. Also, I need to focus on health. I have to remember who owns the issue. When I take on other people's problems, I'm creating stress for myself. You know, this course I'm taking and this degree, my emphasis is on wellness. So if I'm going to teach other people how to be well, I have to be well myself. I need to not internalize issues. Again, that can cause me to have depression and also heart issues. There's so many things Stuart talked in his book that can go wrong with your health when you're not in the right frame of mind and when you're not communicating properly. I need to allow time for myself and to reflect on my life and to stay in God's Word. In conclusion, I'd like to quote Burley Allen. She said, people don't realize the power they have over their own behavior. As you can see on my final slide, you've got the power. Each of us has the power given to us by God inside to be able to solve our problems, and I'm so grateful for Liberty University and this course where it's taught me to not just look inward, but to look outward, because I want to be that builder of bridges and never cause walls of problems for other people. Thank you.